Yeah, thank you very much for coming here, and also on such a short notice being able to free up some time and give this presentation for us. Sanne's subjects sounds really interesting. I really hope to hear it later, maybe in another Build Community Tech Talk. But for now, I'm really looking forward to yours as well, because I actually haven't seen it myself, whereas I've seen all the other ones before. You'll be talking about the new possibilities for NFT and blockchain. That's a really hot topic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, you have the floor in a minute. You've got about 30 minutes to go and give your talk. Anything less will result in a longer Q&A. For everyone at home, we hope there's a Q&A button visible. Please press the Q&A button if you have a question. Doesn't matter if it's very easy or very difficult, Menno is able to answer anything, really anything. Well, yeah, and for now, the floor is yours. Enjoy.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Well, so as I said, I will be talking about new possibilities with blockchain and NFTs. Not strictly a testing related talk, but still very, very interesting and inspiring, I hope. So first, something about myself. I'm a senior test consultant for Capgemini, and I actually like mountain climbing and riding a motorcycle. And well, of course, this is adrenaline based, and that's also the reason why I got involved with the blockchain space. It's an emotional roller coaster with many ups and downs, and that's what I like about it. There's a lot going on. It's new. It's exciting. So let's start with the talk. I actually talked about blockchain and NFTs before. Earlier this year, I actually talked for the Build Tech community about the use of NFTs in gaming. And if you want to see this talk, you can find it on the YouTube page. It's a little more technical, whereas this is broader, in which I will explore the possibilities more. If you want to see how to make NFTs in a game, I will explain it in this talk. You can find on the YouTube page. The name for the talk is "Making in-game items real with blockchain." Well, NFTs are a big topic of late, and it's mostly because of the astronomical amounts of money that are involved. And yes, for the observative viewers, in the presentation, you can see amounts upwards of 200,000 euros or dollars for this image. It's the image of a bored ape. And this actually is an NFT. So what is an NFT? It's actually, it can be anything. It's a non-divisible digital object. And it can be in the form of a picture, in the form of a GIF, a video, or a music file. But it can also be like the domain name of a web page, or it could be some information about your identity. Anything that you can hash together, which means that you can convert into a crypto or a cryptographic hash, can be made into an NFT. And there are a few characteristics for NFTs, namely that they're mostly unique. So regarding this specific picture of a monkey, it has this aureola above its head, and it has this like rotting flesh in his neck, and it has like a pipe in his mouth. Those are all characteristics that only certain NFTs have, and specifically this image only has the combination of all of them together, which makes it unique. And a blockchain allows you to verify that this image is unique. So to make the comparison to real-world objects, you can make hundreds of thousands of pictures of the Mona Lisa, but there's only one real Mona Lisa. And the same goes with the NFTs. You can make thousands of copies, but there's only one original and one that was the authentic one, the first one. So there's a lot of hype around the NFTs. The picture of the monkey was specifically an NFT set, which means that it's a picture of well, whatever, in this case a monkey, and it has certain variations, and it's part of a set of, no, in this case 10,000 monkeys. And the alternative for the NFT sets are, for instance, NFT artwork. This artwork that you see behind me is actually a collection of well, thousands of doodles or sketches or artworks that was made by the artist Beeple. And earlier this year, this NFT set as a whole was sold by the auction house Christie's, or no, Sotheby's, for $69 million, which is an astronomical amount. And actually, more recently, this is a Dutch street artist. She made 4 images. One of them you see behind her, and she sold them. She sold the 4 images to a Swiss NFT company for 2.5 million euros in crypto. So these NFT artworks are also very popular and are currently going for astronomical amounts. But the topic of this video is not about the astronomical amounts of money that are going around in the NFT space or in the crypto space. I would like to touch upon the real world possibilities and applications of NFTs, which actually could make lives better. So let's continue. During this talk, I will talk about these five subjects. First, I want to talk about the Metaverse. Next, some information about self-sovereign identity. I want to talk about how to incentivize communities. And next, I want to explore how you can use NFTs as tickets or as a replacement for tickets, and how you can use NFT in games or as gamification possibilities. So let's continue with the Metaverse. Well, a few months ago, Facebook announced a name change to Meta. And Meta actually is a reference to the Metaverse. And for me, it was a surprise because I didn't hear the term Metaverse before. But actually, the focus of Facebook is to be more in connection with the virtual world that is getting more and more inclusive and interactive. And if you want to see what the Metaverse is like, then I would invite you to look at the video or the movie Ready Player One. This video or this movie is about a kind of metaverse where people are actually playing games in a virtual reality world, where they put on a VR glasses and actually have like a sort of a treadmill where they can imitate the movements that their characters will make in the real world. But everything else inside this world is also imitated, like shops and doing quests and doing playing games, but also social media. Everything is integrated, and this is a common image of the Metaverse. But I would actually like to make a broader assumption where the Metaverse is a way to integrate all different kinds of social media and games and accounts and ways of people to interact with each other online, where assets or achievements that you obtain in one area can be used in other areas of the Metaverse. The movie I was talking about, Ready Player One, sounds like something from, well, a bit more in the future, but actually some similar things are already started. On the left you see Decentraland. It's actually a blockchain project which is already kind of a metaverse. It's an area where people can buy pieces of land, where they can create assets or art that they can showcase, and where you can offer people experiences, and it's all integrated with different blockchain projects, and there's really a lot to do. And on the right, you see the sandbox is also a different kind of Metaverse project, where it's actually more like Minecraft, where people can build things, where people can create assets and express themselves creatively, and make it so that if they create something themselves and they want to share it with other people, that they can actually sell it and create a unique item for someone that is willing to pay for it. Sorry, I want to add a little bit more about the metaverse. In the metaverse, the NFTs take a big role, because if you look at the spaces I actually talked about, the Decentraland and the sandbox, they are actually the rooms which make interactions between people possible, and NFTs are actually the assets. So the objects that you want to trade with people, or the achievements that you can earn. And there's also possibilities for buying land, as I already expressed, on which you can build all kinds of things. And the land itself can also be an NFT, whereas if they rise in value, or if you have created something special on it, you can actually sell it and share it with other people. So another very interesting topic around NFTs is self-sovereign identity. Currently, I'm guiding a few students in Capgemini from the Hogeschool van Utrecht, and they are actually doing research for self-sovereign identity. They're looking into possibilities for governments to use self-sovereign identity to create identities for people that they can manage themselves. So self-sovereign identity means that you as a person have ownership of your own identity. And if, for instance, a government wants to know if you have certain certifications or if you are of legal age, then they can send a request to you, and you can allow them to view your information. This is completely different than what's possible for in current situations, where a government is storing your information, and they have to store it on a central database, and they can actually check for themselves whether or not you have the right certifications or credentials. And this makes it a very easy target for hacks to steal information, and it also makes it very vulnerable for privacy related problems. So self-sovereign identity, it's actually created using a wallet, where you yourself have access to your wallet. You can store information there. You can gain information from, for example, the Hogeschool Utrecht. When you finish an exam, you get the credentials that you finished this exam. And if a government wants to get this information, then you can allow them to see it. This creates a situation where you have like a single sign-on. If you have access to your wallet, and you can log in different systems with this wallet, you can control the information that is needed to give out. A similar system in the Netherlands is the DigiD system, but that's actually only available for governments, and the self-sovereign identity is way broader applicable. So if banks want certain information, or if you have to provide your age to certain corporations, then everyone should be able to interact with you and to view your information. Next to that, there's also possibilities for self-sovereign identity to allow you to verify your social media accounts and actually bundle them. So there's a lot of fake news topics going around, and if there's if there's problems using or validating information, you can actually sign articles that are being written with your identity to make sure that you're a verified content creator. A next point I want to add with or continue with in relationship to NFTs is how they can be used to incentivize communities. This is a very popular forum online, Reddit, and they are actually thinking of implementing NFTs and in specifically relation to the karma points they are using currently. So if you post something on Reddit and so, people like the post, then you can give them karma points by pressing the upward arrow on the left of your post. And there's also a little small icons that are on the bottom of the post there. Those are specific appreciations you can give for certain posts. And in the talk that Niels is going to give after me, he is actually going to use a different platform where you can also gain points or get statistics for answering certain questions, and to incentivize people to create content or to share their views or to create posts on Reddit. You can use NFTs or crypto to reward people that are actually good content creators. And Reddit is actually testing this right now. This is a way NFTs or crypto can be used to reward content creators. But if you as a company want to incentivize content being created by your users, then you can also give out crypto yourself. And well, if you want to know where would you get that money from, well, the Bored Ape Yacht Club that I was referring to earlier is well, these NFTs are selling for $200,000 per NFT, and in NFTs, because they are programmable, you can actually program that 10% of the NFT value is returned to the maker of the NFT. So every time an NFT is sold, and this is actually an image from well, just today, you see it's sold a couple of times that day. Every time 10% of the sale value will be returned back to the maker. So if you give out NFTs and you program that when they are resold by the users and 10% is returned to the maker, then that's a way to get some cash flow for incentivizing use or content creation. There's also actually a new project that started this week. This is the project Chihuahuas, and it's actually made by one of the makers of the Marvel universe, one of the designers, and they actually created these animals. There's an whole NFT set created for their users. And when you're holding one of these NFTs, then you can use it to vote for certain twists in the story that they are writing, including these NFT or these Chihuahuas. And this is actually a way to get more into the interactivity of the platforms or of the content creation, to make sure that people actually let their opinion know of what they think you should do, and be responsible for the direction a project takes. There's also applications for NFTs as tickets. When you hold these NFTs, you can actually gain access to exclusive areas. There's also possibilities to drop exclusive content to the tickets to the NFT holders. There's a possibility for new NFTs to be created by the makers and actually drop to existing NFT holders. And there's also possibilities to actually just drop content that is only available for the people that hold these NFTs. I actually thought the disruption to the ticket industry is way more interesting for the application of NFTs. NFTs can also be made to replace existing concert tickets, where they actually are unique, so you can't counterfeit them. And if you program them to only be available for a certain amount, it's also not possible to resell them for a profit. So this takes out a lot of third parties that are actually purely existing for scooping up tickets early and reselling them for a profit. There's also for the ticket industry an opportunity to create memorabilia. I found this Beatles ticket on eBay, where actually a unused Beatles ticket from 1969 was being sold for $1,200, and NFTs can also be kept for a long time. They can be stored and resold if they rise in value. And if you give out as an artist NFT tickets, people might store them and see them raise in value in the future. But if people hold on to these tickets, you can also see them as loyal fans, and you can drop content or early access to music that people have dropped, and give them exclusive access to new content. Well, there's also a lot of potential for NFT use in games. Online games, there's a lot of play-to-earn games arising right now. There's no big games yet coming up. The games right now are pretty much indie games that are very small in size. But the way this works is, if you play a game a lot of hours and you gain special rewards, these will actually be NFTs, and because they are hard to get or rare, they will have more value and can be sold by the users. For example, I took a picture from a mount in World of Warcraft. This is a very special mount and takes a lot of time to get. And if this actually was an NFT, then they might be resold for high amounts of money to other players, because they are very collectible. There's also possibilities for gamification offline, where the data from smartwatches can be used to track activity and reward activity with NFTs. And you can also link this to games. For example, the Pokemon game, where you actually have to go to specific locations to catch a Pokemon. Those are also possibilities where the Pokemons can actually be NFTs and be obtained in a way that is not easy for other people to so the NFTs will be special and will be used in trading or in getting other NFTs again. Well, this was a short overview of all the possibilities of NFTs currently, and I would like to ask you now, what application of NFTs do you see for the future? And this was my talk about NFTs in the blockchain.
Yeah, Menno, great to hear your talk. As in, it's not a secret for the Build community that you and I already know each other, and we've already discussed this topic before as well, but never this much in depth. And it keeps amazing me how many possibilities there are and how much money is involved in NFTs and everything connected to it. While everyone is thinking about an answer to your question, our moderator is working hard to post a question to us. We already have a question from the audience. I think it's a good idea to move on to the Q&A now.
Yes.
One of the questions is, when do you think NFTs could be impacting daily life?
Well, it's hard to say for certain, but I think if you see the amount of time for gaming companies to make a big game, where I'm specifically talking about the big gaming studios, then I think in a year or two we will also already see big games making use of NFTs that are widely spread and popular. I think when you're talking about the self-sovereign identity, it could be 5 to 10 years out when we will start seeing NFTs being used to to guarantee credentials. But it's actually also very location specific, because in some African countries like Ethiopia, there are already talks with blockchain companies to make sure the people there have wallets containing their credentials, and making sure that if there's a war or the government is overthrown, that these people still have an identity. So I think in the coming 10 years there will be certainly a lot of use that is very close to us.
Yeah, really great to hear. Thanks for the very explicit and nice explanation. I really hope for the person who asked the question that the question is answered. If it's not answered, please make sure to ask a follow-up question to Menno, because that will really help improve us. There's another question that's come up that our moderator put forward to us, which is, what effect will NFTs have on testing? What's your view on that?
Well, NFTs are currently more of a community thing. So if you're in a community and you want to add content or do certain things, you can get an NFT as a reward. So currently the thing I see for, or the current application for NFTs in testing is mostly as a reward for doing work. And as most blockchain projects are actually open projects where everyone can help to develop the project, doing testing work for those projects can actually result in you being paid in either crypto or NFTs. If you're talking about specific use of NFTs within testing, I don't see any specific applications of them yet, but maybe one of our audience members will have already thought of a way they can be used.
Yeah. With my minor expertise, I cannot think of any explanation how to use NFTs in testing. But you mentioned the Metaverse and Ready Player One. In your opinion, how do you think that will affect our life? Is there any chance something like that will happen, or is this the complete extent in your opinion?
No. I think that the movement is still integrating more, as you see with Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where you can post videos on all platforms at the same time and actually see results from all the same platforms at the same time. I think where the metaverse is headed is including more and more platforms to be accessible from the metaverse. So you log into this virtual space, and from this virtual space you can have access to your social media, to your games, and platforms as like Steam already are doing this. You can use Steam to chat with your friends, but you can also trade certain items that you have gathered from different games. And well, if you're wanting to play games, you can also log in and just play games, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the integration of different media all into one platform, and I think the metaverse is going to expand on that.
Yeah, really interesting. Also, you've been mentioning a lot of stuff about the metaverse and what's happening right now, but is there any next step that you're looking forward to most yourself?
Well, I think the one thing I would look forward to the most is just putting on my VR glasses and then just immersing myself in such a world, because until now mostly these things always have been kind of or visually not pleasing, or they have been really limited in applications or in things to do inside such a world. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this build out, and I think that will be soon.
Yeah, so pretty much the way they show it in movies such as Ready Player One, that becoming more real is something that would really be beneficial and more fun.
Yes.
Okay, there's also another question, which is, do you think this could all just be a fad?
Well, I actually I was actually smiling about this question, because if the if you look at the NFTs that are just a picture that is going for 100 or 200,000 euros or dollars, I think those are just not real. I mean, we're talking about a picture, and it's priced more than like a Lamborghini.
Yeah, but you mentioned that there were multiple possibilities with NFTs, so maybe people
Exactly.
are buying it right now because if the possibilities increase, they want to be ahead of the curve.
Yes, exactly. So you have these projects are all under development, and currently there may not be that many applications for having such an NFT, but developers are continuously building. And then again, there's also the other side, like the self-sovereign identity, like guaranteeing people ownership of their own credentials and verifying that you are who you say you are, and disallowing the possibility for your credentials to be stolen. Those are called like utilitarian NFTs with real use. So I think the first category of the images, I think the values may drop or they may rise further. You know, mania, you can't predict it. But for real world uses, there's a real market for NFTs.
Yeah, the limitations are endless, but we really need to see what NFTs and blockchain has in store for us.
Yes.
And I also see that there's a response to your question. What application for NFTs do you see in the future? Someone answered flight tickets. Would you like to respond?
Yeah, I think flight tickets or any tickets are really, because they are inherently unique. You have your tickets to a place on the airplane. That is. That is a perfect use case for NFTs, and funny because flight tickets. There's a lot of debate. Well, if you ask the person next to you how much did you pay for your flight ticket, then usually the price is very different to the one you paid.
The same with NFTs.
Exactly. So the NFTs make it possible for middlemen to be cut out, because the seller of the tickets, or actually the provider of the airplane, can set a certain ticket price for their airplane tickets, and the price can't be resold by another party for more.
What influence do you think that will have on the price of tickets itself?
I think it will be more fair, and the profits will not go to thousands of other platforms that are actually reselling the tickets, but the profits will go to the manufacturer or the provider of the airplane, the aircraft company, and therefore prices may drop because they don't have to mark it up.
Yeah, dropping prices for the consumer and it being more rewarding for the buyer is one of the greatest things.
Yes.
I see there's another question. It says, what are the energy impacts on NFTs on the environment? And when we consider the process of minting, which is called linking your image/product to a non-fungible token itself. Thanks for explaining it, by the way, in the question.
Yes. A great question, because blockchain and explicitly Bitcoin is often related to energy usage, and especially non-green energy usage. With regards to Bitcoin, there's actually an initiative from Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey, from the maker from Twitter, that want to make Bitcoin green, and they have set a goal to get the energy consumption of Bitcoin only sustainable. Or the use of Bitcoin energy was supposed to be only sustainable by a certain time. But NFTs are a bit different, because NFTs are actually programmed on the blockchain, and most NFTs right now are built on the Ethereum network. And Ethereum, while still a mining blockchain, will transfer to a proof of stake blockchain, which dramatically reduces the energy consumption and therefore the impact on the environment. So actually, by changing the way the blockchain guarantees itself, the impact on the environment will be greatly reduced. And minting a non-fungible token is actually just deploying a contract to the blockchain. So this is a piece of code that you put on the blockchain, and this is just one transaction. I don't know the exact numbers, but usually the amount of energy one transaction costs is a lot less than maintaining the whole blockchain.
Yeah, and especially since it's new, it's probably still a work in progress. So we hope there's many developments there. We work at Capgemini. They're also working on being more energy neutral there. Blockchain and Elon Musk, they'll probably be working on it hard, and we'll see something about that in the near future. There's also another question which asks, how about refunds if you do not have a ticket but an NFT?
Yeah, that's those are the interesting questions. If you're working with decentralized platforms and you lose your wallet, what happens? Or if you buy a ticket and they are an NFT, how can you get a refund? Well, I think most of these questions are best answered by the companies that are actually going to execute these business models. There's a company in the Netherlands, I think it was in one of my slides, the Guts is a ticket provider, and I don't know exactly how they do it, but I guess they've thought about a specific solution for when people buy something, they want a refund.
Yeah,
I don't have a specific solution for it just now.
Yeah, but what if people misuse it for their own gain and go for, find a way to go for refunds or resell the NFTs, and then they have tickets that are now NFTs in order to avoid all the other companies reselling.
Yes.
But now people are reselling or refunding NFTs. How does that work?
Well, for most of these problems, the beautiful thing of open source and community-based solutions is that if there's a problem, someone's working on a solution, and for these questions, it's mostly very niche specific. And as I'm just giving an overview, I haven't thought about this specific question. But if I would start a ticket company, I would definitely have to think about this. Especially if you're a government and creating a self-sovereign identity where people are responsible for their own credentials, what happens if they lose their password?
Yeah.
Or if they lose their wallet? You don't want people to lose their complete identity, so there have to be processes in place to catch those situations.
Yeah, that's something we'll have to work on in the future.
Exactly.
We're nearing the end, so I think we're down to the last one or two questions. One more question that I find interesting is, what actions do you think countries will take when it comes to taxing NFTs?
Well, there's a lot of debate currently going on about getting rules in place for what happens with NFTs. And currently in the Netherlands, there's of course the income tax, but there's also wealth tax, that if you have wealth of over a certain amount, then you have to pay tax over it. I think for NFTs currently there isn't that much law, but I think because they're mostly crypto art currently, they will go for the same rules as taxing if you have a lot of art in your house, which is very valuable. But actually, it's a very big question also in the crypto community, because these products they are something new. They're decentralized. They're not sold by, or well, sometimes they are sold by someone, but they are in between the lines. So there's a lot of new regulations forming around these spaces, and well, I don't know where they will go to, but I think they will try and try to cover it with some law. But what law?
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying that the future is holding a lot for NFTs and blockchain.
Exactly.
Okay, I think it's also maybe interesting to ask you, what's a take-home question or take-home message you would like to give all the viewers? If there's anything you want to urge them to do what concerning NFTs or blockchain right now?
Well, I think there's a lot of interesting projects currently, and for the example I use, Decentraland, is actually an open platform where you can just create a guest account, get into it and just walk around. And you can see people walking around. You can see the places people have built. And you can also see some of the NFTs being displayed that people have bought. And there's also areas that are created by certain brands to create a certain experience. And as these are, well, open platforms, you can just go there and check it out. So if you want to form an opinion for yourself, just enter one of these platforms and keep in mind that it's it's early stages, and things will improve massively, because NFTs actually they started in 2017, so it's actually four years in.
Yeah.
It's right on the brink of it starting.
Yeah, so it's new. Find some information about it if you're interested, and see what the future holds.
Exactly.
Okay, great. I think that wraps it up for this part of the tech testing event so far. There's a couple of things I need to mention. First, you'll be heading into a break, but the most important part of the break is what's coming after the break, because the break's only there to give you a little bit of time to grab a cup of coffee. There's also an option on your screen that allows you to go into a network carousel where you can meet other members of the community, other members who are watching now, who are willing to discuss all the subjects that we're dealing tonight. But please stay tuned for after the break, because then we'll be having Niels van Rijmersdal, I'll say it in Dutch, and he'll be telling us about how he became a better tester, answering questions online, which is also a very hot topic, because there's many ways to teach yourself a lot of things, and I'm being taught that certificates are the most important way. But if there's more ways in order for you to actually branch out your knowledge, it'll really help you in the future. It'll help you learn, it can be fun, and it might help your career. Well, the last one is very important for myself. So I'm really looking forward to that. Please stay tuned and have a nice break.